This song is dedicated to the RCD. Merry Christmas to you.
That is a horrible
everybody.
song. That is a horrible song.
Holidays.
All right, and thank you to our patrons for making this possible. Do you have any emails?
I'm gonna have to cut out that first 10 seconds. What was that? Like Oscar the Grouch Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
Evening, gentlemen. 'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, and Nick fucking left us.
Yeah, he said, fuck it, I'm going to Tennessee. Allegedly.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you, gentlemen, you guys are the only 10s I see.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
We got the dad jokes flowing now. Yeah, we go.
And why are they dad jokes?
I received a Christmas card in the old postal service from my brother from another Franklin.
Ah, yes. Mm-hmm.
And I received it too, but he's not my brother from another Franklin. He's just
Franklin.
Your card is quite literally in the mail. So
okay, all right. Well, thanks. I mean,
I can honestly say your card hasn't been mailed out yet. We have
mailed out a batch yesterday, and I have to mail another batch tomorrow.
Who does mailing anymore? I
Not
don't know.
My wife. I'll say that much.
Okay.
So she's responsible for. Oh yeah. So this is the mistake that I made last week, by the way. So these are my edibles that I have.
Okay.
You notice there's a perforation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
You did me.
I did it again.
Oops. See, I can't do that because I can. Have you noticed I'm leaning back and there's no squeaking?
Is that a Christmas gift?
Well, it's a Christmas gift.
These taste like weed.
Oh, they taste like weed?
They're not great, but they do the trick.
Podcasts taste like weed. Anyway, no, I mean, like, Chris, I feel like old, like just even sending out a Christmas card. You know, I feel like, oh, I
fucking
people
hate
care?
Christmas cards, dude.
Do people care anymore? Should I? I'll take you off our Christmas card list.
It was nice. It was nice seeing your family. I mean,
it's nice getting updates from people I don't get to see all the time. Like if I fucking saw you last week, I don't need your goddamn card. Like if I hung out with you, I understand. Like, but just fucking don't.
Right.
Yeah, we used to send out like 40 or 50 cards. We got.
You sent out 120 yesterday.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, geez.
And it was like, I'd have to go to the post
can't
office.
Feel my tongue from licking the fucking envelopes.
Well, luckily, Costanza didn't buy your envelopes for you.
We've narrowed it down to I think like 50, maybe.
Lucky what?
50, maybe. I think.
No, Jack. What did you say?
Costanza
didn't get you your envelopes.
Oh, right. Nice.
Well,
hi, Sherry. Hi, Sherry.
Sherry, what's happening? Yeah, I don't fucking care about the Christmas cards, and I feel like. So Sherry says, I like cards that show the adults too, not just the kids, because the adults are my friends. I want to see what they look like now, and I haven't seen them in a long time. That's a good point. Like
that's a hard one though.
And guess what?
Yeah.
Right. So I've got a couple of cards where people were very proud to send out a picture of their children.
Yeah.
When they probably should have second guessed that because they got some ugly ass kids.
Damn, going for the throat. Like I was like,
it is true. It's like, wow, they're growing up.
Wow, that kid is fucking ugly.
Jugular. So yeah.
Ours were of our grandkids. And
so I got Jay and Kate's. Not Jay and Kate. That's my brother. And sorry, my brother and sister-in-law.
Jay and Kate plus 8.
I got Jay and Colleen. Their card.
Your brother Jay from another Jay.
Yeah, for sure. I will say the youngest child. What's the youngest child's name?
Alex.
Alex is the most fucking photogenic child I've ever seen. That kid's got a $1 million smile.
He does, but he's I said the other day to him, I said to Jay, I said, because we're going to have all the kids over, but COVID's gone through my one daughter's house, and
no,
it's just been a mess. But because Cindy does her annual cookie thing, but I said, yeah, you can send that. You can still send the boys over. I don't mind if Alex says something that makes me cry. he can be brutally honest.
He's always a bastard, huh?
Yeah, he's a fun kid.
He's a bastard,
but he doesn't sugarcoat it. He tells you if
Hey,
you're looking like shit,
than
he
that.
can tell you look like shit.
That's awesome. Good. That's what life should be.
Yeah.
Be real.
By the way, for Nick who listens to this later, is like, I didn't get a fucking Christmas card.
Whoops.
He didn't make the cut. See, we only had like so many to send out, and I was just like,
you know what?
And I said, Nick doesn't have kids or anything. We don't have to send.
Yeah,
out.
it's definitely like a family unit type of thing. Like you got to send out.
Yeah, I kind of think of it as more of like I know I've had some single guy friends of mine that are always like, yeah, you don't have to send me one of these. I don't need this. You know, it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, we actually have one of our friends. She is currently single. I think she just broke up with her girlfriend recently, but she sends out her Christmas cards. And they are addressed from her and Stan. And now Stan is her cat.
Oh.
So it's always just a picture of her with at least a beer in hand and Stan the cat. I appreciate those. I think those are funny.
Yeah. I think that's and maybe to Sherry's point in the chat, you know, it's like, you know, you like to see the adults too. It's sometimes, especially for like family across the country, maybe, or what have you, that you don't always. So, and that's why I think,
and
God, even though I see you weekly, it's also kind of like your long distance friends.
I really hope they're not listening. But I have we have family members on my wife's side of the family who do occasionally listen to us, but whatever. I'll take it who
they're too busy right now.
Who send out at least a 1 to 2 page
update on their life
journal entry.
Okay, this is an interesting take. Now, what do you guys? Okay, Chris has a certain face. He's out on it. Doesn't want it. Jack, how do you feel about the update?
I get it, but
it's an old school type of thing. I feel.
I'm kind of I guess for some people that I might not always know what happens in their social media, but for most people, if you're getting their Christmas card, you probably also follow them on social media. So I don't know if I need a yearly summary.
Plus, do I need someone rubbing in my face that they had a much better year than me?
Right.
I mean,
don't believe everything you see on social media. That's for damn sure.
Well, I'm saying their letter. Oh, we did this and we did this and we went on this trip and we went on this trip and the Bahamas and like going,
fuck you.
Off.
Well,
I mean,
the flip of it is like, this happened to me and this happened to me and here's my GoFundMe page and here's a QR code.
Yeah, right. Feel free to donate to the cause.
Yeah,
being a fucking piece of shit.
I'm just trying to scrape by, guys. Anything would help. So, I mean, my wife. I love my wife. I love my wife. But we're doing errands today, and to be fair, I don't know how you guys feel. I'm not a big fan of the people that are like in the middle of the road. If you're in the middle of the road begging for money,
panhandlers.
Panhandlers. I'm not a big fan of those. But this is my wife, God love her. We're driving through our Kroger parking lot, and there's a guy just out in the parking lot with a violin and an amp and a sign.
And she's like playing.
And she was like, let's stop and give him money. He's actually doing something. Look,
it's fake.
I was like, all right,
it's a scam. They're faking it.
Yeah. Well,
he takes that money and jumps into his Lexus.
I know, right?
Away.
Well,
that's how I bought it.
There was a study actually that was done by Harvard Business School, I think it was, or whatever. But what they did was they took a bunch of students for like a project, like dressed down and presented themselves as panhandlers, and they did it for a week, where they went to Harvard Square, which is in Cambridge, Massachusetts, fairly popular area. It's very, very heavily walked because of Harvard University and all the stores and shops and commerce in the area. So lunchtime in Harvard Square is pretty busy. And I think that after a week of their experiment, they're averaging like $25 an hour.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I mean,
that's
panhandling.
They make a.
That's pretty good.
It's actually it's a good.
That's better than
it's a
most
good
jobs.
rate of pay.
Well, yeah,
it's better than most jobs.
Yeah, it was. I always wondered though, because they all seem to have, no matter what part of town I'm in, I could be like 30 miles away from this. They all seem to have the same. Is there like a web page they go to? All right, this is what we're doing this week. We're doing the wave thing. We're doing that. We're bringing our kids there, or we're going up. We're going up to the glass and some tap on. They'll tap. They'll start tapping, and I don't like. I don't want you approaching me. I don't know who you are, but it always seems like they're in. It's like it's uniform. They know they all have the same thing, and it'll change the next week. I go, what is this webpage? I got to find this webpage. I hope they pay their taxes.
John says, hope they pay taxes on that.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Speaking of odd things that you see in parking lots at Kroger, there's these signs. You see them all over the place. Random, just little yard signs. It's like leaf blowing, holiday lights, you know what I'm saying? Like there's just random. One of them will be like babysitting or childcare. Why are you getting your childcare advice from sign? And then one of them was mattresses.
Well, they put it at Kroger. They got to be okay.
I'm questioning the mattress quality that I'm gonna get from one of these signs. I mean, it
One of
sounds
my
like a
favorite
good
signs.
deal, but
I gotta find. I had a picture somewhere. I'll have to find it. I might get the verbiage wrong or slightly incorrect. But it was it's just like 300 to 350 pound black dude, hang out outside Fenway Park.
Does he have a big dick?
Oh, no, not that. Probably.
Jeez.
Jack's referencing the meme, not actually.
He is.
Something that
for penis.
Chris used to send to us all the time.
I did.
Used to.
And it would be hidden. And
still does.
Someone said the other day with the drone thing.
Yes, that's true.
Well, that must have been another thing.
That was Nick. So the sign had a picture of this average, Macy's catalog, Caucasian family of like kids and a mom. It says that ninjas kidnapped my family and I need money to drink my sorrows away. It's like, I'm like, dude, you earned it, man. Like, I will give you money because you said, hey, I'm just going to go out and get some booze. But he made it funny. And he's like, this is my family that was kidnapped by ninjas. And it was clearly like a cutout from a catalog.
Oh, you could, something. Now, you know what's going to happen, though? They're going to go on that website and you're going to see it all over town.
Yeah,
you're gonna see everybody doing it now because they all do the same thing. But
I say they should lean into it. Dress like Clark Griswold or his brother-in-law Eddie.
Well, there's another one too. It's pretty famous for the Fenway Park, Kenmore Square area in Boston. And it's this guy. He's probably like 6'3", skinny, like black, like 1950s framed, like GI issued glasses, and he holds a sign. It says like the end is near, right? And he's handing out these pamphlets of like the wrath of God and this, that, and the other.
So like Comic-Con.
And like the best part is that like I remember seeing him as a kid, right? And I saw him when I was in college, and I saw him again recently. And I was like,
dude won't die.
I'm like, dude, you're full of shit, man. It never happened.
Well, it's one of those things.
You've been here for 20 years, man. Like, what are you doing?
It's like when they predict the earthquake in California that's going to destroy California. They predict it all the time. It's like, okay, I've been hearing this since I was
eventually,
5.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Eventually, I'll be right.
Yeah,
and nobody, like I said, nobody remembers that it was predicted.
We've all been driving along, and there's a red light, and we're hoping, and we hope that the red light turns green, and we're like, turn now, and turn now.
Oh, so you don't get stuck at the light.
Yeah, like you're in your mind. You're okay. Maybe I'm the only one that's ever done
this. I do the same thing as
okay.
It's just like, I remember I was years ago. I was in San Diego, and I was getting something for my dad. I went to this shopping center. Came out of the car, guy. I go, yeah, I got a couple bucks. That's all I got. And so I got hit at the next one. I go, I just gave it to the other guy. And then I'm not even to the store yet, and another person hits me. I go, well, you should have been the first one at my car. I go, I gave the first guy a couple bucks. I go, I don't have any more money. I go, yeah, there should be a system here. And they're just looking at me like, fuck you, asshole.
I don't think there's a system.
Well, I don't want to be bugged the whole time going to the thing. Plus, I don't like people approach. I always teach everyone in my family. I go, keep your, on a swivel. I go, you don't know who these people are approaching you. Years ago, I was filling up gas, and this guy comes up to me, and he taps me on the shoulder. Because I was looking the other way. I go, he's got blood all over him.
Oh, wow.
Hey, could you give me money to the bus? I go, well, I don't have any money. I go, plus, can you back up? I go, what's wrong? What's wrong? He goes, oh, somebody beat me up. I go, okay, you need to go into you want me to call, I said, you want me to call 911? He goes, no, I don't want 911 here. I go, well, you're bleeding. I go, I should call. And he just took off and left. And I was like going, I felt stupid because I didn't see him coming up. And he just tapped me on the shoulder.
I gave one I was working in Providence. And I remember the same person was sitting in the same corner every day. I was coming home from work in the wintertime. And it was cold, right? And they're out there and whatever. I did get them a jacket once. I'm like, I got an extra jacket at home, so I put it in the back of my Jeep. At the time, I was driving a Jeep, and I rolled on the window. They were asking for money, but they were wearing like a sweatshirt only, and it was like 20 degrees out. Threw them a jacket, and they were not happy, which is weird.
Because they want money.
Yeah, like and here I am thinking I was like this Dudley Do-Right, like I'm gonna give this person fucking clothes, right? Literally a jacket. Like, and I handed him the jacket, and he's like, "What's this?" I go, "Dude, you're wearing a sweatshirt, and it's 20 degrees. Like, put the coat on." It's like, "Whatever, man. You got any money?" I was like,
"Yeah, my dad, he had dementia at the end, and he was giving away all his jackets and coats to people that were outside. I mean, he was a pretty generous guy anyway, but even before the dementia. I go, Dad, what are you doing? He goes, what have you? He goes, oh, people need them. And I go, okay, Dad. I go, you got to be careful who you're letting into the house, or he lived up. There was an alley by his house and homeless people, but I was like, oh, I mean, what do you tell him? I mean, he's doing something good, but I go, I don't want him to get. At that point, he was just kind of, in and out. So anyway, it just, I think some people, because we had Cindy and I were driving, I think we're going to the movie. We're going to the movie.
You like to think it all balances out in the end.
Yeah.
Karma wise. Like you like to think that go ahead. Sorry.
But we were going to the movies and this guy stopped in the middle of the road and he's throwing these clothes outside and this girl's walking up just screaming at him. And so I stopped and put my blinkers on. Cindy rushes out to the girl, and I guess they live in their car. And I guess when he gets mad at her, he just throws all her shit in the street. I'm like going, and so then he drives off. He speeds off, and we gave her what we had in our wallet, which wasn't much cash. I mean, it wasn't, and we try to say we'll take you to a shelter. We'll take you to, and she didn't want to do it. She says, no, she's going to end up going back to him. I go, it's unfortunate, but she's going to go back to him. But it was like, I mean, she was, she just was, you could just see her face. She just, just so frustrated that, she goes, yeah, we sleep in our car. And I go, he gets mad. He throws all my crap all over he was sort of all over the street. And I'm just like,
yeah, I mean, if you think that's bad, America went back with its ex.
Well, sometimes it's better the second time around. Let's try and be positive.
Sure.
You have to go to the bathroom?
Oh, no. You can always read the chat.
Okay, I didn't see that. I looked it up after it was. Go ahead.
Sure. Okay. Well, Jack. I mean, Chris can miss out on this part, whatever. But there's a new show on Netflix. I don't know if you've checked it out. It's with Ted Danson, A Man on the
I have
Inside.
not checked it. It's something I want to watch because it's a comedy, right?
It is a comedy. I'm gonna go ahead and pull
This guy
here.
just likes to work, doesn't he?
Well, he picked a really good show too, like the plot of it and everything. The way that it was done, I thought it was really really good. Anyway, it's on Netflix. There's only 8 episodes. There's some actors and actresses in this show that you'll recognize from some of other Mike Schur TV shows. Mike Schur also had worked on The Good Place as well as Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Mary Elizabeth Ellis. She's married to the squeaky guy on, right? She's married. What's his name? The guy on.
You mean Charlie Day?
Charlie Day, yeah. I think
I didn't know that I didn't know if they were married or not.
I thought because she was the girl that he wanted to date.
Right, I know. I didn't know if they were together or not. So
she was also in that show, that short-lived show, the Grinder with Fred Savage, and
she's been on a lot of stuff. Her hair is kind of short in this show, and some actors and actresses, you're always kind of like, did you just get like a little Botox done? Like, because like you're my age, but somehow you have no wrinkles. So I'm just always kind of.
I hate people with no wrinkles.
I hate people with no wrinkles. I question everything. I'm trying to find spouse. Charlie Day. There you go. Okay,
yeah,
they have one child. They have one child together. Russell Wallace Day. So,
and does the kid talk like this?
I have no idea, but I will say
it is on my list of things to watch because I've heard good things about
it. Man on the Inside is really good. You would like it, Jack. Not only does it deal with some kind of like elderly memory loss kind of aspects as well.
So you're saying you're saying I'm getting older and my memory is.
No, I just know that you've dealt with some of that with your own family.
Yeah. Well, it's true though. I'm starting to go. I mean, it's getting bad. That's okay.
Okay. Well, you also like Ted Danson.
I love Ted Danson, because not just because he was born in San Diego.
And
I see that Chris isn't here, but
I would just say the writing on the show is really good. It's unique in the fact that it doesn't go like, okay, first episode, I kind of watched it and I thought, oh, this was my Nick point of view kind of criticism of the show. I thought, oh, this is Netflix's answer to Hulu's Only Murders in the Building. That was why
okay.
That's what I kind of thought, because the main character's name is also Charles, and I was kind of like, well, that's kind of a coincidence. And then you have this gray-haired, comedian.
Oh, so Ted Danson is Charles.
Exactly right. But then I read the trivia and the backstory behind it and how it's actually based on this Chilean documentary called A Mole something. I have to look at the trivia on this to go back to some of the deets that I'd learned about it on IMDb here. But El Agent Topo, which is the Mole Agent, is what it's a documentary, a Chilean documentary that it's actually based on. So
it's funny. I did see it, and I said, I go, God, this guy never stops working, because he's in Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he was in The Good Place, and just
was he in
Cheers. And,
oh yeah, Curb.
Yeah,
Curb,
he plays himself.
That's right. Right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I just it's got, the writing is really good, and I think it's unique in the fact that it doesn't necessarily. Okay, so at first I thought, oh, it's got this similar thing where it's trying to be Only Murders in the Building, yeah. But it's not. It's got its own thing. It doesn't feel like it's trying to riff too heavy on that. It's
right.
It's got its own DNA. And there's an actress from Brooklyn Nine-Nine who's in it, that when you see her, you're like, oh, that's. And she really kind of pushes against her usual kind of stereotype. So I won't say
which one.
I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to say
the one that played Gloria's sister.
I'm not going to say
the one that played Gloria's sister.
I'm not going to say.
I can just go look it up.
I've got fucking IMDb too, man. Anyway, I highly recommend it. It's really good, and it's already been renewed for a season 2. The fact that the way the 8 episodes go, it almost feels kind of like a half a season. Like maybe the other 8 will be but it also is complete. It could just be those 8, and that would be fine too. Like you'd be satisfied with just that story.
Okay.
So
as soon as I finish Longmire,
yes,
I got 6 more episodes to go on Longmire. I mean, I kind of pushed through it, but I'll finish it before the 31st now, so I'm pretty excited about that. But it's really good. But I did watch I watched a movie. Cindy and I watched a movie on Netflix called Carry On.
Oh, how is it?
It's.
I'm back, by the way. Hi.
Hey, welcome back, Chris. It's a great popcorn movie.
It's
action packed. It's got I like the. Well, Cindy hates what's his name?
Is it called Commercial Break?
Sure. And we can carry on afterwards.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Go ahead.
But what's his name?
Taron Egerton?
No, Christian. What's his name?
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman.
She doesn't like Jason.
She doesn't
Bateman?
She hates the way he talks. He goes.
I don't think I've ever met anybody who doesn't like Jason Bateman before.
He's the same character. Excuse me, I got hiccups. In every show he plays, I go, but
except Teen Wolf.
Yeah, Teen Wolf.
That's Teen Wolf 2.
Okay.
But
he fair enough.
But he plays a different character in this one because he's spoiler, he's the bad guy.
Oh.
And just I just like the way it's just again, it's not Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But it almost reminds me of Die Hard a little bit because it's a kind of a Christmas. They're playing Christmas music and they're going to say, "Oh, is this a Christmas movie?" But it won't have the people won't remember this movie in a year from now. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Nice. As far as you go in there going, okay, I'm not here to watch an Academy Award winning movie. If you like action, it's got a little bit of comedy, but it's got some drama, and I liked it. I thought it was good.
Nice. Yeah, I saw. I actually did a couple things over this past week, but I started watching Shrinking. I think to both of y'all's recommendation.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
It's just Nick and I that have seen it. But thank you.
I've watched the first 2.5 episodes now.
Okay.
I fucking love it. Like I just do. There's something really warm about that, about that show. And as sad as it is, it's heartwarming simultaneously. I feel. I don't know. It's weird.
It deals with age.
Yeah.
The same in a similar way that as I was raving about A Man on the Inside, deals with aging.
So far I'm in, man. Like I'm really enjoying it. I don't know why I haven't I haven't seen it yet until this point, but I'm glad that I started doing it because it's a good show.
It's a good time. It's a good time to.
It's Apple, right?
It is.
Yes.
And I think you're about to say it's a good time to binge it because
it's finishing up on Christmas Day. The last episode of season 2 drops.
Right.
Last episode of season 2, and I'm glad you're enjoying season 1 because everything that happens in season 1, I think, pays off tenfold in season 2. Like
good.
I felt really like it kind of hit a second gear in season 2 that I really enjoyed this show. And it became a show that my wife and I would kind of like sit down and enjoy together, which is always kind of nice to kind of have that.
Yeah. So. In the chat, Sherry says Shrinking amazingly gets even better in season 2. Which is cool. Looking forward to that. And Matthew Treese in the chat says it's a weird combo of the sad stuff, but also the fun hang stuff, which I couldn't agree more. And granted, I'm going off of 2.5 episodes worth of content, but I think you've kind of nailed it. Both of y'all nailed it there. In addition to that, this past Monday, I had the distinct pleasure of attending Monday Night Raw.
Oh, that's right. I forget you're doing
that. It was Dude, I haven't been to a live wrestling event since I was a kid, like 1986, 87 ish time frame, and it was like Brutus the Barber Beefcake cutting people's hair in the middle of the ring, that type of thing.
Was it a little different?
Yeah, a little bit. Dude, the production of these shows is absolutely
Was it at a big arena?
Yeah, it was the TD Garden where the Celtics and Bruins play.
Okay. What's it called? The TV Garden now?
TD
Oh,
Garden.
TD Garden.
TD Bank. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they just got caught with some type of crazy like financial scheme, so it might get sold and renamed again. Who knows? But yeah, it was so much fun. Like I had such a blast. Like one of the things that's kind of drawn me back into watching wrestling. I know I've been talking about it for a little less than a year at this point, or a little over a year at this point. Like as a kid, obviously I was fascinated by wrestling. I loved watching wrestling. I was a Hulk Hogan guy. Like, you know,
did you ever do it in your backyard?
Oh yeah, like I mean, but nothing to the extent of like the crazy guys on YouTube breaking their necks and shit. But like, my brother and I used to wrestle all the time. Ultimate Warrior, dude, like I loved it. I loved it when I was a kid. And one of the kids in my neighborhood, his mom watched it all the time, and she got all the pay-per-views. So we'd go over to the house and watch pay-per-views for wrestling in my friend's house.
The mom watched it.
My friend's mom. Yeah.
Okay.
She watched it for the articles.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is it's just why my wife watches it now too with me, because it's for the
articles.
She's in love with Roman Reigns. But I've been like, I got really back into it, and I started getting really fascinated by the history of the business and how it's produced and all that type of stuff. I just find it super fascinating. And the storytelling that they're kind of pulling off right now, the characters that they're creating, the story arcs they're creating, is just really purely great entertainment. They're actually doing at their best right now. And their whole big thing is that Monday Night Raw is moving from the USA Network, I think USA Network.
Is that still around?
To Netflix. So Netflix will be running Monday Night Raw.
I didn't know USA Network is still around.
Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have.
But a big deal. You know, they're moving to the biggest streaming service in the world, which is kind of cool. So I mean, the popularity of WWE is like, meteoric right now.
If the heel TV show would have been on when I was a kid, in my teens.
Oh my gosh! Right.
I probably would have watched wrestling because I understand it. Because it's it's the whole it's fake, but it's the story that grabs you and all that stuff. And I was always like, it's fucking fake.
Well, the thing is, it's not fake. That's the thing. Everyone calls it fake. It's I mean the actual like dialogue, storylines, and like that type of stuff. Yeah,
but it's predetermined winner.
Sure, right. But the physicality is
that they're getting hurt.
Yeah,
I mean they're taking a beating.
I mean, they do a good job of, and it's funny that like because over this past year, like all of my For You page and my YouTube stuff, a lot of it's getting filtered into like the whole wrestling world at this point. So now I'm looking at like these videos of like these former wrestlers talking about the reality behind the scenes, right? Talking about what it was like. There's this one dude, Maven Huffman. He was known as Maven in WWE back in like the early or late 90s, early 2000s. And he's got this whole series of like, what were the top 10 most to least painful like moves to take, and he talk about like all the different finishing moves that these wrestlers would do and rated them from like which was the most painful to which was to the least painful, and it's interesting. The ones that you think probably are the most painful are the ones that don't hurt even a bit, So they do an unbelievable job in protecting each other and making sure they're safe.
So the rug burns hurt the worst.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I think that's what the Hill did a great job was the fact that it showed, you have one of the, I don't want to spoil people, one of the wrestlers who made it big is taking tons of painkillers because he's in so much pain. I mean, you can't function because, and then you get hooked on the painkillers and you can't get off the painkiller. I mean, it's just.
Well, that was the problem with like, what's his name?
Prince.
Yeah, Prince. Yeah. Danny Boy Smith. the Nature Boy, Danny Boy Smith, or not Nature Boy, whatever his name was, the British Bulldog. Remember the British Bulldog? He literally had like a bulldog mascot, and he was kind of during the whole Hulk Hogan era, that age. I remember he was so in Scott Hall and all those guys. They were all so addicted to painkillers that is what did them all in. You know, their addiction is what did them in.
Do you think their mascot was too?
Perhaps
like the little bulldog.
I don't know, but that's the difference between then and now is that like there's so many more layers of protection and things that they take into consideration within professional wrestling nowadays, because of all these things. Like half the people we watched in the 80s are dead, more than half, and they died far too soon.
Well, they were juicing.
Oh, of course, juicing.
They're juicing, and then all the other drugs and
mental issues, like from concussions and head injuries to just losing it and snapping, and like it's unbelievable.
Again, if you watch the heel, and you see some of those moves they're doing, if they're just off a little bit, I was watching. They left on a cliffhanger.
I want to say that Stephen Amell, he had broken his back in the first, like basically like near the pilot when they were shooting the pilot.
Really?
Or like it was one of the trivia things that I found about it is that he had broken his back fairly early on, and so like you don't know that like throughout, but I'll try to.
You
find
can see
it.
Why. I mean, it's just. These guys aren't professional. I mean, they're not professional wrestlers, but they were doing the stunts. I mean, they had to because you can see, going down. It's the same. It's crazy, but I remember when John Stossel said something to a wrestler saying, it's fake, and the guy slapped him. Is that fake?
Right.
I mean, it was kind of a bullshit move, but but if you're in pain and you're out there going, okay.
What's his name? Who is that? He's like a famous journalist that happened.
John Stossel, yeah, John
Stossel. Yeah, it was Stossel
from 2020 and everything else, ABC, and he just got slapped. I mean, and he goes, did that hurt? Is that fake? It's just like you're like going, okay.
Anyway, I found it here. It was in the trivia section on heels, though. It said that Stephen Amell broke his back in October of 2020 performing a stunt scene for the first episode. So
for the first episode, broke his back. Well, how did they finish the season?
I don't know. I don't know more about this. So I like how four people were like, "No, this is unhelpful." Boo.
Unhelpful.
I don't know. People with their
the likes and dislikes.
Yeah. It's like, no, that's not helpful at all. So anyway, I love the trivia section. It's sometimes what I do while I'm watching, especially if I'm rewatching a movie or a show or something that I enjoy. Chris, you had something.
Your mind or something. Yeah. So speaking of like, and that's what I do on the show. I mean, fuck. I mean, I'm on IMDb. Half the show we start to go down these rabbit holes of shows and actors and actresses. But recently, I got the commitment, so to speak, from my daughter that she's going to start watching Lost.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and I told her, I go,
whoa,
I'm super excited. I will watch this with you every second of it. I go, but you need to make me a promise. You absolutely 100% can never search online anything about this show. Like you just can't do it.
You will be spoiled.
And I go, I told her, I go, if you do it, I will stop watching with you. Don't do it.
Wow.
And she's like,
damn,
okay.
Wow.
I go, don't even go on to IMDb. Like which she's obsessed with. She gets that from me. Like she'll sit there and watch, like she'll watch a show and like be on IMDb, like kind of like, oh, this person's this person, blah blah blah. I go, you can't do that. You can't even do that. You can't look.
You will know exactly when somebody dies. You will know exactly how long they're on the show.
Cannot look, and
you'll know when they come back for a flashback.
And what's funny though is that she's kind of like, okay, Dad, this is kind of cool. Like he's really
Challenge
serious
accepted.
about this. Like she's like, all right. So we were going to start the other night.
I just won't tell him.
The fan. Oh yeah,
I've been waiting. I've been trying not to push the show. It's kind of like I've been waiting for one of my kids to come to me to be like, "Hey, I'm kind of interested in this," or to watch.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Ralph's documentary was just recently released. And I was talking about it, and Jack's in it, and I haven't seen it yet, but apparently I'm in it too.
Oh, nice.
And like not interviewed, but like stock footage from Raleigh, I think, or something. I don't even know.
I got my own IMDb page. So.
Oh, did you really?
I didn't set it up, but it's.
No, but it just happened. I think it might be automatic because of the casting.
Maybe I think John set it up.
Oh, really?
John set it up.
So, I'm excited about that. So, like, speaking of like looking up things up, I'm like, you can't do that. So she's excited.
Well, that's cool. That's cool because I don't have any kids anymore. So,
And John in the chat says, I need to tell you all about the time that Roddy Piper got arrested for a Dewey in his neck of the woods down in
you can't just throw it out there and not tell us.
I mean, they were all raging alcoholics. I mean, how about the fact that the rumors were that Andre the Giant would drink a 30-pack on a flight?
Jesus. Well, that's like John Candy. John Candy was a huge drinker. I didn't really know that until they were talking about what movie did he make? He was in a dry county, but his hotel, he had a bathtub full of
booze.
Oh, wow.
I think we were talking about that on the show, actually. I remember.
Yeah, I think that's where maybe that's where I heard it because I was like going, wow, really?
Wow,
really?
Wow.
Because I remember seeing something. The director said something like, hey, as long as you're sober, because in Splash, the scene where he's doing the racquetball scene, he's literally hung over.
Oh, wow.
Because he drank all night before. And I guess I if I remember correctly, he wasn't supposed to do, I don't know what it was.
That was before they could just computerly. That shows you how far I'm in. Well, for everybody playing at home, I'm on to beer number 2 now. But
you know what that means, everybody at home.
Soon he's going to be calling me an asshole.
It's a lightweight.
Hey, I've been doing some heavy lifting. Last night I drank a beer all by myself.
All by myself.
Passed out on the couch with the dog.
On one beer?
And a bag of pretzels.
A bag of pretzels.
What kind of pretzels? It's important.
I don't know. They have like some kind of
the fact that you just fucking easily dismissed that question.
So you got the cheap Kroger pretzels, is what you're saying?
No, it's not the cheap Kroger. I'll go. Well,
because you don't know. You don't know.
Like, no, if you don't immediately know what pretzels you're eating, you don't fucking care about pretzels.
Is there some kind of dick measuring thing for pretzels now?
But there's definitely a classification.
You have to get
of quality of pretzels.
Not like chocolate.
The best pretzels are from Hanover, Pennsylvania. Those are the best pretzels. But
so I'll challenge you on that. While Matt goes and gets his pretzels. There's a brand of pretzels that I got introduced to a couple of years ago, and they're now starting to become available in grocery stores.
Yeah.
And they're called Splits.
Splits. Well, you know what? Wait, did Sherry? Did you say it already, or am I behind?
Oh, wow, that's wild. Did she say this exact same time I said it?
Whoa, that's crazy.
So I've never heard pretzels. Of Splits. Are my new favorite pretzels. I'm gonna pull up the
Sherry says, I said it first.
Nice. So Splits pretzels. They're now available on before you could only get them order them online.
Yeah.
Or like real special mom and pop shops, but you can get them at your local grocery stores around here. I've
never heard of them.
I'm not surprised. They're not very popular yet because they're fairly new brand. But I'm gonna pull up the image of them from Unique Snacks. Well, when Matt gets back, he'll be able to share my screen.
He's got Kroger pretzels. That's what he's coming back with.
Yeah, that's why, or that's why he's not coming back.
The cheap Kroger pretzels.
So the Splits pretzels are definitely they're made different. So I'm gonna read the description from the packaging here, quote unquote. It says, "Are you ready to experience something truly amazing? Try Unique Snacks original Splits pretzels. Our pretzels are like no other, with flavor-packed texture that features split open grooves and hollow pockets. Our innovative baking process precisely measures the pretzel dough to perfection, creating a crunchy and satisfying snacking experience that you won't find anywhere else. And yeah, they're that fucking good.
Well, do you have a picture of the?
I do, but I can't show it because Nick's the one who's got to put it up.
Nick has to.
Not Nick.
Matt.
Sorry.
Okay. Because I was into a pretzel kick for like 3 years. Ate pretzels every fucking day, and then I stopped. I got tired of the pretzels.
Yeah. What the hell? Anywho, well, when you get a minute, check them out. They're very, very good.
Splits pretzels. Well, if Sherry and you both said splits pretzels and you weren't working together.
Yeah, I was introduced to them up in Maine a couple of years ago, and I would randomly order them on Amazon, get like a 6-pack of like big bags, and have them shipped. But they're excellent. Whole Foods has them for sure. So I don't know if you have a Whole Foods near you. You can go there and get them. We do. Stop and Shop and Big Y. Big Y is a little bit of a regional thing up here, but Stop and Shop, I don't know how regional that is.
We don't have a Stop and Shop here.
Oh, all right then. Whole Foods.
Just Google it. Find them. Why is all these chips are coming up? Splits pretzels.
They're amazing.
I can't find them.
But if I don't have a splits pretzel, what's my pretzel of choice? I go with salted pretzel rods. Not like I don't go for your typical like maybe the pretzel minis or whatever, but I go for the pretzel rods.
I'm just not a big fan of the pretzel rods. I like the unts pretzels.
Utz, yeah,
Utz, whatever it's called. I don't think anyone really knows the name of it, but I like those pretzels.
Utz. Yeah.
I have no fucking idea.
He didn't want to bring it out, Chris. You were right.
No, I could not find it.
I think
I could not find these pretzels. They have this spicy kind of like powder added to them,
is it dots?
I don't know.
Because here's the other.
We have Snyder's. Right? We have some small Snyder's stubbies.
Snyder's is legit.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't like the smaller. I like the big Snyder pretzel.
Of course you do.
So I'm trying to share my screen, Matt. I don't know if you see it or not.
I have not seen it yet. Go to present.
I did.
Okay.
Oh, I had to hit allow. Sorry.
I tried looking for it. I couldn't find them.
So these are splits pretzels.
Huh.
All right. So we're going to zoom in a little bit here. And so you can kind of see what they're talking about with the
I'm really getting hungry now. Just saying.
So you can see these pretzels have a interesting flavor bubble with these really grooves, and it's like a really crunchy pretzel. Like when I tell you they're the best pretzels you'll ever have, they're definitely like a little bit more on the crunchier, harder side of the spectrum. Okay. So they're not like you can't like pop them in your mouth and eat like 6 at a time. Like you're gonna eat one of these at a time and take a few bites out of it. But they're excellent pretzels. The other pretzel is Dots seasoned pretzels. Yeah,
I'll eat those. Those are good.
The Dots seasoned pretzels are freaking amazing as well.
That's not the one that I had. I wonder what seasoned
pretzel. You had the Kroger brand.
No, I didn't. Fuck you.
Yeah, so Dots pretzels are incredible.
I've had Dots. Yeah, they're good.
If you want to like knock your socks off with like a sugary sweet version, their cinnamon sugar ones are.
I found it.
Crack.
I just found it. All I had to do was just Google this fucking shit. I didn't even have to go to like.
Sherry says, "Do not get the extra salty splits." I concur. They are
really
fucking salty.
These Snyder's.
Those are dope.
The twisted I did get them from Kroger. Okay, I'll admit it. But the seasoned twisted pretzel from Snyder's, those are fucking awesome. And
I do love,
crushed-
however, Matt,
crushed
I
an
do
entire
love that
bag.
when you searched for seasoned pretzels, Dots
Yeah.
came first.
It did. It did. It straight up did. Dots came first, which has me curious now about. You know what I should have gotten my wife for Christmas? I guess I still can. I
Some
can make
Dots
this up.
pretzels.
No, she's a big fan of all things. She likes a good
Don't
meat.
tell on us, Sherry.
She likes a good
Yeah, under the
like
bus we go.
like sausage or meat.
Heyo.
Yeah. So I had gotten her like we were out and I said, so you want a sausage in your stocking for Christmas? She kind of cringed at that one.
Yeah.
But no, I thought if I gave her like a sausage of the month club, that would be like a really,
Hey.
right?
That's at least 12 times, buddy.
I
Adds
know.
adds a little spice to the marriage there.
It might be more times than what I get, but hey, not bad if you can get it.
Hey, man. Not bad for government work.
Not bad for government work. So that is not what I got her yet, but I got her some other things. I have Christmas taken care of. I feel good. How are you gents doing on your Christmas shopping agenda?
Pretty good. So I have to go out and get some more things for the kids from my mom, because she's at that point where she does not go out anymore. So she forgot that she's coming here for Christmas 4 times already.
Yeah.
So I get a little bit more shopping for the kids, but my wife, bless her heart, she does all the work. She figures all that shit out.
Right.
Cindy does all.
I'm not going to pretend for a hot second that I was helpful in that arena, because I absolutely was not. But to my defense, she wants to have that control. She would never let me play around in that arena.
Hey, Chris, what is it about like teacher wives? Am I right?
I'm saying,
Like,
and mine's even worse. She's a guidance counselor. She's
right.
used to
It's
fucking
like,
telling me
they're
what
like
to do.
they're like chess masters. They're like 7 moves of fucking. Sometimes I'm like, babe, you need to just chill out and stop worrying about shit for just 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah, how'd that go for you? You fucking idiot.
Not good. Not good, Bob. So that's when I said.
Will you look and see if she's around?
Yeah, it's
that was so good.
it's
Nice little Key and Peele reference. I like it.
bitch.
Oh man.
So I said, bitch. So good. It's eternally good. That is so true.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Anyway, God love them though, because they are seven steps
Yeah,
ahead
Cindy
of the
does.
game.
She complains about it. She said, "You used to go out and help." I go,
Mhm.
"Yeah, when the kids were like 5 and 6."
I took care of the airfare for my wife and I for our Christmas gift to each other.
Nice.
I just said, what do you want me to do? I don't.
Okay, so it tends to be like with the boy and the girl. There are some things that I'm a little bit more. I've got my son a little bit more on lockdown on gifts and stuff like that, where she's got the daughter kind of, So it is a little bit more of a divide and conquer on that edge of things. So
yeah, my son's super easy. Like, you fucking throw him an empty box in front of him, he'll find a way to make it into a toy.
Yeah.
So I actually did play a little bit of role in some of the stuff that we got him. So I went and found on eBay. I found, because he has become obsessed with wrestling as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and found him the old school original action figures from like the 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah,
that someone was selling. So I bought like a box, there's like 30 of them. He already has like a little toy wrestling ring, so he's got that going already. And my wife picked out a kid-sized, undisputed world heavyweight WWE championship belt that he's gonna be able to wear. So yeah, he's got a lot of cool, fun shit. My daughter's just like, I want makeup from Sephora.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay,
fuck.
okay.
Or it's I want $120 fucking sneakers. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Jesus.
My daughter is my daughter sews a lot, so she actually, like, we get her a lot of fabric and stuff like that.
That's
so
cool.
She's very crafty like that. But you know, they go through ages, you know, and different phases, you know, where it's just like there's certain ages where it's like, oh, this is easy, and then other ages where you're like, I need a math equation to figure out what to get this kid, you know. So you know, some days with my son, they are glorious where we can just bro out. We literally watched like Wolverine and Deadpool, and I hadn't gotten a chance to see that yet. And I was like, hey, let's watch this. And it was like all like, you know, and he's the whole time he's just like, yeah, Maggie couldn't handle this. You know, I'm like, yeah, she could not handle this. And so but then there's other times where today we were going for a walk after school, and he was in a mood and he was in a funk, and I just was like, okay, just keep your pace. And then I figured it out. He hadn't had food.
Oh, he's hangry.
Yeah.
You gotta feed these fucking beasts, man.
Yeah,
Like,
they do need to be fed and watered.
oh my gosh, if you don't feed them, they will bite your hand off in an instant. So
Sherry's got a suggestion in the chat. She goes, you could get your daughter a makeup bag and a makeup mirror. It's something that will grow with her. You know what? And it's funny you say that, because we did buy just those things just the other day. And speaking of makeup, some funny side story, not really funny, but I'm gonna make fun of my wife for a second. The reason I was upstairs because we have an old friend of ours who stopped by. Haven't seen her in a long time, but she's like a professional makeup artist, like an artist. She does like weddings and shit. I don't know. Is that what you call it, an artist? I think
so.
Yeah.
So she does, like, you know, makeup for weddings and, you know, like musicals and plays and shit. So she's very, very, very good at what she does. So she's here because my wife currently. Let me decide how I'm going to share this story. I'm going to go. I mean, it's gonna make me sound bad for a hot second, but you'll realize I'm not an asshole.
That's okay.
My wife currently has 2 black eyes.
What the fuck you do to her?
Not for me. Sorry, it's a wonderful way to start a story. No, I'm not. I didn't hit her at all, but I am going to out her in the sense that she went and got fillers done for underneath her eyes.
Oh, okay.
And dude, the reaction she's had is fucking terrible. Like, she's got like a huge shiner here, like half as bad shiner on this side. Like it's pretty bad. Like, so much so where I'm like, fuck. People are gonna, like, if we go out in public together, people are gonna think like it's. I'm like, no. I actually need to get like a shirt that says it wasn't me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's that bad. But our friend's actually upstairs right now and teaching my daughter how to help my wife cover it up. And
okay.
I went up there to have a look at it, and she's like, it looks amazing. Like, she looks incredible. So you can only imagine how much money I will be soon spending on all of this different type of makeup and tools.
When you go out to dinner, just wear a MAGA hat. You'll fit right in.
Oh, fuck you. Too many stairwells. Fuck you. Thanks, Matt, in the chat.
And not Treist.
Sherry says every interviewer. Oh, damn.
Treist says just have the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme ready to go.
But that's who's upstairs, and coincidentally, I can also hear my son is still awake, and that's not a good thing.
Not a good sign.
He'll be cranky in the morning.
So I'm gonna step away for another minute, and I'm gonna manage that situation.
It's a good time to take a commercial break. I guess on that note, Jack, holiday movies, shows that you watch or that are on your checklist, it's like, oh, I haven't seen this one. Like, for me personally, I love this might not be on your list, but I love Muppets Christmas Carol. Absolute favorite. That's gonna be one that I watch, as well as Charlie Brown Christmas. I haven't watched those two yet. I kind of savor those, kind of hold those back. My wife, she's a huge fan of Elf. That is one of her faves.
Yeah, we watched Elf last year.
Yeah,
we watched it like every 5 or 6 years.
Oh, it's not like an every year.
It's not like an every year thing.
It's like a partial kind of.
The one I think we watch every year is It's a Wonderful Life.
Really?
Yeah,
that one.
Mary.
I like a lot of the random lines. And so with my kids, because we watch a lot of Mystery Science Theater 3000, so we riff. We like to make fun of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff with MST3, or there's a lot of stuff with It's a Wonderful Life that my kids and I, we riff off of. Right. And a couple of them, one of them, so when you watch it, it's George Bailey. He's going to visit Mary's house, and he sits down and he says, "I see it still smells like pine needles around here." So random. It's so random. It's just out of the blue. Another one. There's a moment where Violet is she checks that George Bailey is out on the town, out on the prowl. This is right actually before he goes to visit Mary's house. And Violet goes up to George Bailey, and she leaves 2 eligible suitors, one guy with a mustache, and she's like, "Hold on, gentlemen. I think I got a date." And she walks off. And this one
Violet's
guy,
the blonde, right?
Yeah. The one guy says, "We'll wait for you, baby." And for whatever reason, that has become a catchphrase line in our house. In fact, we all cringe when somebody uses it. I try not to use it with my wife anymore because there for a while, my kids thought it was funny when I would say, "We'll wait for you, baby." And my wife was not too happy that I would.
"We'll wait for you, baby."
And then my kids started using it with me. And that's when I realized that I had fucked around and found out. So as the kids would say, it's one of my favorite throwaway lines from the movie. So I also like the even though it might not be politically correct, but "That does it out, you 2 pixies go through the door or out the window." I just enjoy that one too.
I guess we watch it because it's usually on Christmas Day or something like that.
It usually is.
And it's okay. I'll watch it, and just
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. I mean, I don't really get into whatever the kids want to watch. I mean, they like my granddaughter loves Frosty the Snowman. I hate the little bastard.
Yeah, I do too.
It's not his hat. I mean, I say it over and over again. It's not his hat.
Sure.
And then the kids are walking around, half naked. Ooh, there you go. I mean, it's snowing outside, and the kids are, they're all wearing.
Oh, they were in shorts and
ready?
Yeah.
You hear it?
He's crunching into a pretzel.
They are crunchy as
yes,
fuck.
Sherry. Alfalfa from Little Rascals is in the Wonderful Life.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Huh. I never knew.
He doesn't have the pointed up hair.
Okay.
He turned out to be a bad guy.
Is he one of the sledders at the very beginning that's just like, "Here's my kid brother, Harry Bailey. Blah blah blah."
I don't remember. Sherry probably did better than me. But I know
I never knew that.
He is in it. Yeah.
I didn't.
But he turned the actor, the kid, he turned out to be a pretty bad guy. I mean,
really?
Got stabbed to death, and he was kind of a dick.
He's in the pool scene where the gym floor opens. Is he the dickhead that's just like he's talking to Mary and he's being really annoying? And he comes up and he's just like, "Why don't you go annoy somebody else?" And he's like, "Hey," and then he walks over. And then I wonder if it's that guy. I wonder if it's
but the actor himself, I know he got stabbed to death, but he was kind of a dick.
Yeah,
he was overall just a dick.
I'm sorry, I just know kind of that movie a little bit too.
We used to have a Little Rascal live down the street from us. And we got her. She used to host a Little Rascal TV show every Saturday in San Diego. So anyway, but yeah, I remember. I can't remember the Alfalfa's. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
but he was a dick. But the best is if you talk about is Eddie Murphy when he did Buckwheat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buckwheat has been shot.
My daughter found and instantly loved and has watched it multiple times. The remake of The Little Rascals that was in like in the 90s. I don't know if you guys.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I think it's the 90s. Yeah,
Yeah, during
That's
the whole
actually a really
Richie.
cute movie with Darla.
Darla, yeah.
Treast is confirming that's him. Yes, the guy that opens up the gym floor. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So,
hey, what's the matter, fella? Did you also know that this gym floor opens up underneath? And did you? Yeah, I know that whole. Yeah, whatever. Sorry, Buffalo Girls. Won't you come out tonight?
Won't you come out tonight?
And that goes for you too. I don't know. So many lines from that fucking movie. I just
George Bailey's kind of a dick. I mean,
he is. We refer to it as the yelling movie because there's a lot of yelling. Like, I don't want any ground floors, bitch. You know, and he slaps her around, and then the next scene they're married. So, Shop Around the Corner, also another holiday movie with Jimmy Stewart where he yells a lot. So, but Shop Around a Corner is also.
And I guess Jimmy Stewart was kind of a dick himself.
So. It was remade into You've Got Mail, I believe.
I mean, I watched a video. I don't know if it's true or not, but he was kind of a racist, and I mean, no one likes to hear that. I mean, I just watched it. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. It was on YouTube. They were talking about different actors who were not who they portrayed in real life. You know,
but, fuck them.
Well, Chris, you have any favorite holiday movies or holiday like kind of things that you guys watch around the house there?
So it's interesting. Like I think like newer traditions are happening or are being created now, right? Which is weird because I've had all the things I remember growing up. It was always A Christmas Story. That was like go to. Like that's what we watched. We watched A Christmas Story. It used to be on for 24 hours straight on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, remember, TNT, right?
Yeah,
TBS.
TBS.
The
TNT,
Superstation.
TBS.
So that that was probably a big tradition for us. There wasn't really much else. Like growing up, there's also another movie that actually I loved that I don't know how I think it aired on TV once, but we recorded it. So I had it on VHS and I'd go back and play all the time. But it was a movie called The Night They Saved Christmas.
I remember that. Yeah.
With Jacqueline Smith, who may have been one of my first early loves.
Charlie's Angels.
It was I just loved that movie. I thought it was just great. It was like it's a movie that I always think about as a kid, watching. But we've probably watched Home Alone 87 times this year. That's become, our family movie now. That we'll just kind of catch on watching at any time. But like even my son loves to watch it. So probably Home Alone's probably the go-to now.
Okay. Home Alone.
Home Alone.
We watch a lot of different ones, I would say. And by the way, I mentioned it last week. Red One, I thought it was kind of like a lighthearted. It's got a scary moment in there with the Krampus character, but it's got some kind of Star Wars kind of, like I said, Avengers vibes. So if you're looking for an action movie, kind of modern day, it's not bad. Matt Treese in the comments mentions Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Whether you're watching the MST3K version or not,
I don't know if I've seen that one.
That is a hilarious cult classic gem from the 60s, maybe 50s, sometime in that period. Anyway,
I don't think I've seen it.
The MST3K version is a classic. My kids and I are actually kind of that's on our list of like one that we'll watch. Has one of my daughter's favorite lines. What do you want for Christmas? I want to decide who lives and who dies.
That's a fun one.
It's a fun one. Mm-hmm.
Ho ho ho! You die.
Anyway. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any other. We watched White Christmas the other day. It was kind of nice because we were actually getting snow. So I was like, well, it's kind of
stop bragging.
perfect time to put on White Christmas if it's snowing outside.
Yeah, we don't get snow.
I would, yeah. I don't know. It's that movie is pretty dated. I think most like holiday classics at this point, they have to be at least 20 years old, and they have to be slightly outdated to the point where there might be something kind of edgy or racist in it. You know, like even A Christmas Story. Even A Christmas Story has some kind of slightly racist things where you're like, oh yeah, the part with the, you know, the
Which one?
Chinese at the end is
Oh.
slightly, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're singing Jingle Bells, yeah. Teresa says, watch the MS-3 version. It's pretty funny. I generally watch the SCCTM's theme. I'm not sure what that is. So, yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
Are we still talking about pretzels, Sherry? Come on, I'm starving. I don't like honey mustard.
Stonewall Kitchen, which is phenomenal, by the way.
I don't like
honey mustard dip, which is also fucking amazing.
It's great. I've
never had that with the splits, but I might go to the store and get that. Because
go now.
Holiday movies that I've mentioned before on the podcast.
Oh, that's Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. He was just shortening.
Oh, I do generally like the theme. Okay, just the theme in general of the idea of Santa Claus and Martians fighting it out. I get it. The polar bear scene is redunculous. So if you're not watching it being riffed, you should riff it yourself because it is just so ridiculously absurd. I mean, it is literally a person in a costume. You can tell that. So
yeah.
If Santa Claus is fighting the Martians, that means they're bad,
yes,
right?
The Teresa's saying the title theme song. SANTAY. Santa Claus. Yeah, it's really.
But am I right? The Martians are bad, so they don't get any.
Well, they learn their ways with characters like Droppo, who's the doofus of the Martians. But it's funny. Again, I highly. It's a funny take on it. So.
We can't forget like the stop motion.
Rudolph
movie is like synonymous with Christmas.
Do you watch it? Do you watch it every Christmas? I
don't. Yeah, I think I sit down and watch it at least once a year.
Yeah,
even though Santa Claus is a dick.
Even though he's a dick. Yeah, and we really don't understand his eating habits. So
eat. Nobody wants a skinny Santa. We can't even see him.
It's Christmas Eve, and they're like trying to stuff him full. Like, I don't understand how this is going to happen.
Of soup.
Yeah.
And you realize the only one that has hair as the elf is Herbie the dentist.
Right. That's why they're jealous.
Yeah, because he's got hair, and the rest don't have hair. They're bald.
I've mentioned this movie multiple Christmases, but or holidays. But it's 8-bit. Worth a watch. It's on Max. It is not exactly a Christmas story
movie. 8-bit.
8-bit. It gets missed because I think the title kind of falls under the radar, but 8-bit, it is kind of like a Christmas story, but not exactly like a Christmas story. It doesn't do it beat for beat. I think it's better than any of the other sequels that they've tried to make for A Christmas Story. It's not even a sequel. And if you're not a little misty-eyed by the end, then it hasn't done its job. But it is hilarious, and I identify with Christmas? All the 8-bit Christmas. Yeah,
8-bit Christmas. 8-bit
it's all about. It's all about.
Oh,
it's all about a kind of a flashback of how this kid wants to get a Nintendo for Christmas. And if you lived through the Nintendo era,
fuck, I did that.
Yeah, for real. It's.
Oh God, I'm gonna love this fucking movie.
It's worth a watch with your kids, seriously. And it's literally you talking to your daughter, and your daughter like trying to understand why what the big deal is about. So, I highly recommend this movie. Klaus on Netflix. If you haven't watched that with your kids, that's also a good family movie too. Klaus. So, but
Klaus
8-bit Christmas, I do like that one a lot. It's one that my family and I will go back and watch because we like it's got heart, and I think that's something that you want from your holiday movies.
You got to have heart. You got to have comedy.
Now that I'm thinking about it, like last year, it was different, right? So this year may be, the Home Alone or the. Actually, my daughter even watched National Lampoons the other night, which is kind of cool. What? Where'd I go?
I don't know. You're a cat now.
Meow.
There you are. There you
are. Fuck. What was I talking about?
Your daughter and Christmas.
Yep. Oh, last year. Last year it was the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen.
Oh yeah.
Like she watched those like back to back to back to back to back. And I was like, oh man.
I think it's an age thing. I remember my son watching the Santa Claus and really liking it, like just really being into it.
She loved it.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that's kind of fun about the Red One is that it does a modern day, how would Santa Claus make this happen? And it uses modern day technology as a way of making it feasible and plausible. So if you're watching it with your kids, it's not spoiling them on the whole myth. It's actually proving how it can all happen with teleportation and some of the stuff.
Well, that's why I like the Santa Claus movies.
Yeah.
Because it gives you, okay. I mean, of course, I was like in my 40s when that came out, so I was like,
right. I think this just takes it even one step further with some Star Wars Avengers kind of tech.
Okay.
So anyway, sorry to get all holiday here, but
no, but dude, why?
It's only a few days away.
Week before Christmas.
I know, right? Right? It's creeping up.
Oh, what's kind of crazy this year is that we celebrate both Hanukkah and Christmas in this house.
Right. I just told my wife about this. Yeah,
it's wild. It starts the day after Christmas. That's never happened. I mean,
really?
I'm sure it's happened before, but like it's the first time.
Why is that?
It's just the way the calendar falls.
Oh, okay.
And that's all it is. It's the first time since I've been like consciously aware and participating in the Jewish holidays that I've ever known it to be after Christmas, let alone the day after Christmas. So it's kind of fun. The whole week after Christmas is going to be like still like a celebration time around here, which is going to be fun.
Because I always thought it was always
before 8
days before Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I know it changes every year.
I never knew.
Yeah.
That.
Oh yeah.
It's 8 days, but it's not 8 days before Christmas.
Well, it's 8 crazy nights.
It is 8 crazy nights.
I didn't know. I just never, never came up in the conversation. So,
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know either. But now you do.
Well, now I know.
Yeah, I was Googling it just the other day. So,
were you?
Yeah. Because I want to know what's going on with my Hanukkah brothers and sisters.
Because you are that guy.
Fuck you, Jack. Come at me, bro.
No, I'm giving you a compliment. Jeez.
I hate you for complimenting me.
I did finish. I don't know if you guys watch Yellowstone, but Yellowstone ended. I finished.
No.
I'm
on season 1.
I heard that Yellowstone is basically Game of Thrones for conservatives.
It definitely has Taylor Sheridan is definitely leans to the right, I would say.
Okay.
In his writing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. I just saw this as a
but
meme,
he seems
pretty fucking funny. And
like his new show, Landman. He's pretty fair about about describing the whole oil thing. They go back and forth, so I think it's fair. But no, Yellowstone, the final, was like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, once Kevin Costner decided he wasn't going to do it anymore, it kind of forced.
So you're saying it was kind of like The Office? It just kind of felt like meh.
No, The Office. I grew to like the final 2 seasons of The Office.
Yes,
I don't love it, but I like it. This was just like, okay, we're just going to wrap this up because Kevin Costner said, "Fuck you, I'm not doing it anymore."
Okay.
But it's okay. It's good. I mean, I like Landman, but
as somebody who's watched, a couple episodes of the first season, would you say after watching all of it, is it still worth it to do it?
Yeah. In fact, I told Cindy, I go, I'd like to do a rewatch because it's been so long since we watched the beginning. It's really good for like the first 3 seasons, maybe 4 seasons, but the last season, it's kind of like, okay, their hands were tied when Costner said, "Fuck it, I ain't doing it."
Yeah,
and I get it. He's a big star, but but it was okay. I mean, it was,
Yeah.
I'm glad I finished it, and it was it's a show Cindy and I both watched. But I mean, it just was like kind of, all right. I mean, it's beautiful. What I like the most is I want to go to Montana because it's just so beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
just.
Have you never been to Montana?
I've never been to Montana.
Okay.
I only go where there's like concrete. So
it's it's pretty much what you see. It's kind of, but more of a shithole.
Oh, really?
I'm just joking. It's beautiful. I've always said that if I were to retire, I would like to retire to Montana. So,
well, it's interesting how that line of questioning for Jack. Like, I've never known anybody in my life who's ever been to Montana, but you just respond to that question like, "Huh, you've never been to Montana? Like, is it a frequenting like vacation spot like that?" I've never heard of anybody who goes to Montana.
Okay. I guess I'm not trying to be like Montana elitist here.
No, that's the vibe I got. It's like, oh, this guy said, "Fuck you, you've never been to Montana."
I mean, I think Shandy's
Asshole.
originally from Montana, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
So I can't lay claim to it. I mean, I've been to it a couple times. I remember the first time I went to Montana, I was really excited because I was going to this really small town, and
that's cool.
7th grade or whatever. I was reading Heir to the Empire at the time. I remember specifically like that kind of time period. So,
John,
I love
been
Montana.
Twice. Okay, this is interesting. It's awesome.
It's awesome. It's awesome, blossom.
I mean, not that I'm like counting, but I've definitely been more than John.
Wow.
Dude, you are.
I do know a few people who have been to Montana. I'll be honest with you, as a younger person,
Prince Montana over here.
I don't want to go to Montana. I want to go to where it's lively.
I would definitely live in Western Montana if I would live in
I want to live on
Western.
I want to live on the Yellowstone Ranch.
The eastern part is just shit industry. Like, fuck that bullshit. Bozeman or West, that's it for me. Like Butte to Bozeman, that's okay.
Prince,
anyway,
Montana.
there's 5 people that are just like, fuck you, Matt. Anyway.
Oh, it's more than 5.
Okay, good. Good. That's what I was hoping for.
I did have a bun patty bun story.
Okay, let's hear it.
When Tim gave me the bun patty bun story, not story, but he pinned that thing on me. You remember Tim? He used to like us, but we used to go to this place called Torchy's. It's a Mexican restaurant by where we shop. And Cindy goes, "You want to go there?" I go, "I don't know." Because I usually get the burrito, the beef burrito, but just beef and cheese because the other stuff in it upsets my stomach normally. And so I got the last time we were there a couple of days ago, and it was yesterday. And I got the burrito. I go, oh, this has everything in it. It has the beans, it has the peppers, it has the rice, it has all the sauce. And so I go, no, I don't want to fucking wait. I'm just going to eat it. I go, oh my God, this thing is amazing. Now I like everything in it, but normally I don't eat it because it hurts. It ends up, I get massive heartburn. I get a stomach ache.
Ring of fire.
But I would do it again because it was so damn good. Do
you guys ever pregame? Do you guys ever pregame with your antacids? You're like, I'm going in.
No,
No.
I've not had the acid-ish stuff happen
really?
to me.
No. Yeah, you've never had it heartburn or any. No. Really?
I used to have pills. Thanks, that man. Would, if I was eating meat, I would take the pills for the meat. I had different pills, but then it just became the insurance wouldn't cover them, and it was like $800, $900 a month. So I said, "Fuck it, I'll just have heartburn."
Did they deny you?
They denied me, and I felt like going out and shooting somebody, but I said, "No,
Jesus Christ,
I don't want to go to jail."
Chris is like, "Please just end this show."
Oh my God.
Fucking,
I was thinking about changing my name to Luigi.
God, I fucking hate that whole story so much.
I think that's funny though. People that are against the death penalty are for this guy. I mean, it's like, okay, right. You're not making sense here. You're not making sense anyway.
I don't think there is one side. I think that people that want to say that one side is for Luigi
is not understanding that there's there's a class division.
Luigi made a mistake.
He did make a mistake in killing someone.
That's not the
in
way
killing
to do
someone.
it.
Yes, and killing.
You got to
someone,
get rid of
yes.
your politicians, and that's the key.
Jack, you just inferred there was another way, but
No, I don't mean kill the politicians.
I don't know.
You vote them out.
All right, end the fucking show before something really bad happens. Like the FBI starts knocking on someone's door.
Boom, 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 boom.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Anyway. Any
The
other
Rambo cast
Christmas?
gets swatted.
No. Oh, there's someone knocking
FBI
at my door.
Christmas.
Who's that knocking at my door?
All right, we'll pull this puppy over. That's fine. I mean, I love talking to you guys. Gonna miss talking with you, gentlemen. We won't be back until
right?
That's right.
the next, probably sometime the beginning of the first of the year. So we'll be back. Until then, so thank you everybody that joined us live in the chat. John, we don't see you that often, so when you pop up, thank you.
When we get to see you, it's so amazing.
I know. But it's weird because Randy wasn't here, so I can only assume that John was. Is
Randy still in Vietnam?
We don't know. Treest, Sherry, thank you also for joining us. Anyone else in the chat that I did not see or mention? I feel like there were some people, but maybe not.
Oh, Sherry, you're so fucking welcome. Just thanks for a great year, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
The whole year?
Yeah, the whole year.
Okay.
Let's make 2025 great.
We're gonna make 25. I know what you want to say. We're gonna make 25 great again. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, I wasn't going for that.
Oh, come on, you were gonna say that.
No, I wanted to say that there are some people that make this show possible. Send us
project, if you will.
Send us your projected emails to a file called 2025. It's specifically rcadcast@gmail.com. Send us your Project 2025 related emails.
Oh, that's what you were going with. Okay.
I don't know.
We kind of
derailed
back into that joke.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize. I wasn't thinking that way.
Well, let's shut this down before the government gets shut down.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone that makes the show.
I love how like, we're so cordial through the entire fucking episode. This happens a lot.
So cordial.
This happens like on more than one episode.
It does.
Where Matt gets a little bit drunk.
What? 2 beers.
And then
come on.
We're very
He's too
neutral.
big into it, man.
We're really neutral, and we're really like
peace, love, guys.
Consistent peace and love message. But for the last 2.5 minutes of our episodes, Matt flips a switch to this fucking diehard venom spitting.
His head starts spinning around
like politician. I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, smash the patriarchy. Anyway, so 2025, it'll be a better year. Thank you for all the patrons that made this show possible, specifically Joanne with the plan, Maggie the Magnificent, Richter, barely
Richter.
Richter,
Eckhart Richter.
I was getting to that. Thank you, Eckhart, for making this show possible. Ed, the proper letter carrier. Let's not get lost in the new year. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know, but it's great.
Jack's fucking annoyed.
No, I'm not. No.
Anyway, join us next year when we'll have Nick back in the circuit and he will rein us back in. Watch Skeleton Crew. Also, if you haven't checked that out, Chris, I think you would enjoy.
What was it?
Skeleton Crew.
Oh, yeah, I want to watch that too.
Yeah,
that's another one I want to watch. I asked my daughter. I was like, "Hey, You want to watch Lost or you want to watch Skeleton Crew? She's like,
What's Skeleton
let's
Crew?
do Lost.
Star Wars. Hey, Lost has
okay.
got more episodes, so you'll
Yeah.
be watching that for a while.
Good.
Anyway, thanks again, everyone, for joining us live. Thanks for everybody that contributed to the show. We'll
Tell your
see
daughter
you.
about the underwater hatch. She'll love it when it happens.
Oh,
She
you're
has to have
underwater,
no
sorry.
spoilers. If she finds out a spoiler, like Chris is cutting her out.
Yeah.
Like it's
You
no more.
experience it the right way.
Yeah, or nothing at all. Anyway, any last words?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Sherry says we are the best.
You're the best, Sherry.
Is she talking about all three of us? Because I don't know.
I think she's
know.
just talking about Nick. Anyway, night, everyone.
Good night.